So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So this is a momentous occasion in OPTC. Like, in many ways, we've been in a download spiral, at least when it comes to Sugo fests. I can't remember last time we had like any significant positive change to Sugos. It's probably early Yoshi days when he changed our current 5% system with 10 legends. Before that, it was always all legends available, stuff like that. That was an incredible change in terms of rates, with debuts from them basically always being 0.5%, while before that it was usually half that. So that's been a great change, but after that, it's mostly been a case of nerfing step-ups, nerfing legend pools, waiting forever to rerun normal legends to incite people to pull them on debut, stuff like that. But I'm very happy to say that with the recent trash map Sugo changes, we've got what I hope is a permanent change. And what I'm really praying for is that they adapt this to both the PvP Sugos and Kizuna Sugos, because trust me, those needed a lot more than Treasure Map. Like, it's cool for Treasure Map, but Treasure Map Sugos, we're already pretty decent due to having 3 parts. We already have a lot of options in terms of pulling, and even if I think this is a great buff anyway, and definitely an improvement, this will be so much more impactful for PvP and Kizuna, where most of the time we don't have limited layers rerunning for a long time, and when they do rerun, it might be on a bad Sugo, for example. But yeah, let's talk about exactly what happened. So when I record this, we have part 2 released, and I thought part 2 and part 3 was going to be useless, but it looks like they've taken a different approach to these two, so they still have some niche to pull on, which we get to. But basically, the main thing going forward will to always start with part 1, no matter what. And the big change they've done, and I talked about this a bit in a video the other day, is that on part 1, they are rerunning every trash map legend-ish. Like, they haven't rerun Luffy, who debuted in January, but that's still a pretty decent buffer. It means every trash map legend except for those debuting the last 3 months. And yeah, the main thing that makes this good is just math. Like, if we can go into the rates and take a look. And I did tell people to check the rates before pulling. I'm sure not a lot of people did that, but me and others did. And at least personally, I'm very impressed by these rates. So basically, any boosted trash map legend like Atlas here is 0.5% odds. Every normal legend, like if we can take Ace there for example, the 6-star is 0.1%, and the 5-star is 0.4%, so 0.5% in total. This means that 3 trash map legends that are boosted and the 7 normal legends on the Sugo total up to 5% of the rates. And this is a 7.5% legend rate Sugo, so that means that the remaining 2.5% of the rates are divided along every single treasure map legend. And like, if you do some simple math, that's a huge deal. Like, the rate to pull any treasure map legend is higher than it has ever been. Like, let's take a look at the event info again. So we know on part 1 that these 11 treasure map legends here, from Greenbot to Sanji together, they have 2.5% rate. So that means it's a little bit less than 0.25%. So like, I think it's like 0.227, but like, the important thing is that this 11 is 2.5%. And then these three are 0.5% each. So if you do the math, it means that on this sugo, every pull you do, you have a 4% chance to get any of these limited legends. And that's great by itself. But another thing that's really great is that you will eventually just get all of these. Naturally, you don't have to wait for a rerun. You might have to wait to get lucky to pull the one you want. At least here, like, the boosted legends are not much to complain about. But the great thing for me personally looking forward is that it was very unrealistic in general for limited legends to make any progress with their level limit break. But like here, like, you will just naturally pull dupes of everything. So on a steady pace, you will keep pulling these and keep investing in their level limit break. So that's a really great thing for me. Like, we're going from like never more than like 3-4 legends on a sugo, totaling up 1.5 or 2%, to more than doubling it to 4%. Like, that's a massive change. And of course, we don't know if it's a permanent change. Really hope so. And we don't know if it's for more modes than treasure map. But please, like, let's just take an example. If we go to the PvP sugo and compare. Like, on this PvP sugo, like, this is like the polar opposite. Like, they started doing this with PvP sugos. Like here, they just have 2 PvP legends and they have 8 normal legends. Like, this sugo is such a joke in comparison. Every single multi on this sugo, you have a 1% chance of getting a PvP legend, and it might not be one you want. Like here, for example, Garp is the only other legend. He's commonly seen as one of the worst. So if you pull here just for S-Shark, which I hope you haven't done, but alas, like, you're not likely to get a lot of extra benefit, and that extra benefit is pretty important, especially a mode in PvP where dupes are important. Like, imagine if they changed PvP for the same thing, then we maybe have these 2 rate boosted, and then they add every other legend, PvP legend, and give them 2.5% odds together. We'd still look at a massive buff to like 3.5% chance every multi to get a PvP legend. Or 3%, I should say. No, 3.5. Like, it would be a massive change. So really crossing my fingers they adapt this. I do know there are some people who are a bit more negative to this change, and that's mostly about steps. And I want to be clear that personally, like, for all I care, like, on the 4th step, we have a new character step, which is a good change, since you're guaranteed to get a rare recruit or a legend from the new batch. This didn't exist before on legend debuts for treasure map. But like, for all I care, if the 4th step was the final step, and then we have 25th for guaranteed legend, I still think this will be an overall benefit and a great change just for the consistent higher rate to pull legends. But it doesn't stop there. Like, we have guaranteed legend there. I also overlooked that the 7th is also guaranteed treasure map legends. That works perfectly with what I talked about extra benefits of getting something good you can level limit break at least. We even have another legend there on the 4th 15th. And then we have the guaranteed, of course, which you should probably never go for, but it's there. The one thing that can be a negative that I can see is if you're pulling for the full batch on a specific treasure map. That might be a bit lower odds. There's not that many great step-ups for that. Like, there's no other new character step on part 1. So basically, after the 4th multi, you're not likely to get any of the other new treasure map legends. So I can see that annoying people personally. I value the legend stuff a lot more. Like, I'm happy getting rare recruits later. Like, they get very high rate after their initial debut. Eventually you'll have pulled a lot of them, so I don't care as much about that. But of course, if you want to rank, you want to get full batch as cheaply as possible. One cool change they made for the other parts though is, like on part 2 for example, they make it so you have a guaranteed chance of getting one of the new rare recruits, and on part 3 you can get the other guaranteed, but that's not everything actually. They've even modified the rates on this part. So if we go down here and look, we see that the guaranteed legend here also has more than double the rates of the other rare recruit. So not only are you guaranteed to get this unit on the 8th in a worst case scenario, you're also a lot more realistic to get them before that. And this increased rate should also be prominent in like the other step ups, like sugo has a rate boosted and stuff like that. So just a consistent higher rate to get a specific rare recruit that you might have missed. So for me, this is clearly a big buff. Very happy about it. Not particularly sad about not pulling. I don't think Atlas is that amazing, and I am happy pulling Atlas later, so it's fine with me. But yeah, I really hope this is not a one-time thing. This is a great change, and please make this for PvP and Kizuna too. Kizuna in particular, like Jesus Christ, Kizuna sugos are so bad. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.